Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a place that's massive, icy, all over the media right now, and so very often misunderstood. I'm talking about Greenland. Whether you're curious about visiting, studying culture, or maybe you're just wondering why in the world it seems to be all over the news these days, here are 25 things you should definitely know about Greenland. And make sure to stick around until the very end, where we have added a 26th bonus information about the President of the United States seems to be so obsessed with this unique and fascinating autonomous territory. And finally, as always, I do my very best to get the local pronunciations correct, or at least get close. A little leeway is always appreciated, as I'm an English speaker and doing my best with some of the pronunciations. That being said, let's hop right in. Number 1, it's the world's largest island. Greenland is the largest island in the world that is not a continent. It covers 836,000 square miles, which is roughly 3 times the size of Texas. Despite its size, it's home to only about 56,000 people. Number 2, most of it is ice. Around 80% of Greenland is covered by an ice sheet, which is second in size only to Antarctica. This ice holds about 8% of the world's fresh water. To say it clearly and plainly, it's cold, actually very cold. Number 3, it's an autonomous territory. Greenland is part of the Kingdom of Denmark, but it has home rule. Now, what this means is it manages most of its domestic affairs internally, while Denmark steps in and handles, let's say, foreign policy and defense, if it was ever needed. Number 4, the capital of Greenland is Nuuk. That's with 2 U's. Nuuk is Greenland's capital and largest city with a population of about 19,000. It's located on the southwest coast and blends traditional Inuit culture with modern Scandinavian influences. Number 5, it's difficult to traverse and travel and drive between towns in general. Infrastructure, as far as roads connecting towns and settlements in Greenland, is very limited, and that's being generous. Options outside of hopping in a car or truck include traversing by boat, plane, helicopters, snowmobile, or even dog sledding when traveling to the more extreme or ruralist of destinations. Number 6, the Inuit culture is strong. The indigenous Inuit people make up the majority of Greenland's population, or at least many have ties to. Their traditions, language, kalaallisut, and lifestyle are deeply embedded in Greenlandic society. Number 7, the Northern Lights. From September to about April, Greenland has some of the very best views in the entire world of the Northern Lights. The clear during this time of year, dark skies make it a prime destination for all you aurora hunters. And speaking of dark skies or lack thereof, number 8 is going to be the midnight sun. In the summer months, especially in the north, the sun doesn't set for weeks. This phenomenon is known as the midnight sun. And this is the one that gets a lot of people, but number 9, it's really not that green. Despite the name, Greenland is mostly ice. The name Greenland was likely a marketing strategy by, get this, Eric the Red way back when, like Eric the Red, the Viking. And number 10, climate change is a big deal. Greenland is on the front lines of climate change. Its ice sheet is melting at a very obvious and accelerated rate, contributing to rising sea levels worldwide. Number 11, most of the world's icebergs are actually born here. Many of the North Atlantic's icebergs originate from Greenland's glaciers. Some are so massive that they can take years to fully melt. Number 12 is going to be the unique wildlife. Greenland is home to polar bears, musk oxen, Arctic foxes, and whales. Bird watchers also flock here to see puffins and other seabirds. Number 13, dog sledding is a very real and big thing in Greenland. Dog sledding isn't just for tourists. In many parts of Greenland, and we mentioned this before, it's still a practical and a traditional ways and means of transportation, especially in the winter. You just don't have the roads. Number 14, Greenlandic cuisine. Yes, there is a Greenlandic cuisine. We are talking about the world's largest island, so of course, food here is going to be heavy on seafood and game. Dishes can include anything from seal, whale, fish, and muskox. Matok, a traditional Inuit delicacy, is whale skin with a layer of blubber. Yum. And number 15, the Ice Fjord is a UNESCO site. The Inuit Ice Fjord is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's one of the most active glaciers in the entire world and a major tourist attraction. If you've heard of anybody going to Greenland, a friend, a neighbor, a relative, they probably went to see this glacier. And number 16, Greenland has an active parliament. Now, the name of their parliament is going to be called, and forgive my pronunciation, the Inatsisartut.
What did you say?
It governs most domestic issues, while Denmark retains control over things like currency and foreign affairs. Number 17, not a huge shocker, fishing is the main industry. Fishing, especially for shrimp and halibut, is Greenland's economic backbone. The industry accounts for over 90% of its exports. Mining and tourism make up the majority of the remaining difference. Number 18, the Greenlandic language. Kalaallisut is the official language, and it's a member of the Inuit language family. Now, Danish is also widely spoken here, and as with many places throughout the world, there are English speakers, especially anywhere that is tourist-facing. Number 19, and this is a tough one, maybe even more than the cold for a lot of us, you're looking at very limited internet and cell phone coverage. Don't expect fast internet, at least in most places. While Nuuk and larger towns have decent service, remote areas often have very limited to no connectivity. Number 20, the high cost of living. Most goods have to be imported, making Greenland an expensive place to live and to visit. Groceries and fuel can be especially pricey. Number 21, as mentioned above, when talking industry, tourism is growing. Greenland is becoming increasingly popular with adventure travelers. Cruises, hiking, kayaking, and cultural tourism are also on the rise. Number 22, this even surprised me, there are no native trees. Due to the harsh Arctic climate, Greenland has no native forests. However, a few small planted groves exist near settlements. I mean, can you imagine? Number 23, Greenland is actually or technically part of North America. Let me explain. Geographically, Greenland sits on the North American tectonic plate, even though politically it's tied to Europe via Denmark. Now, 24, it's going to sound a little random, and I'm sort of joking, but there are no McDonald's. What I mean is Greenland has no McDonald's or major international fast food chains. Local eateries and Danish-inspired cafes dominate the food scene if there was a food scene. If you're someone who gets the occasional Big Mac craving, this is not the place for you. Number 25, you can visit Greenland without a visa. Well, at least sometimes, at least at the time of making this video. Citizens and members of the Schengen area in Europe can visit Greenland visa-free. Others, like Americans and Canadians, typically don't need a visa for short stays, but always check the most current rules, especially in the most current environment, which leads us to number 26 on our bonus. Now, Donald Trump's interest in acquiring Greenland stems from its strategic Arctic location and abundant natural resources, including minerals, oil, and natural gas, most of which is actually buried deep under the ice that never really melts and is inaccessible at present with current technology. He also claims Greenland's position is vital for ballistic missile detection and monitoring critical maritime routes, which is true, and that is why the US already maintains a military presence in Pituffik Space Force Base, formerly the Thule Air Base. Even though we currently enjoy all those advantages, having a United States base and presence included, and a fantastic relationship with Denmark, at least we did, let's see how this year shakes out. Denmark plays a relatively modest but strategic military and naval role in this region, particularly in the Arctic, the North Atlantic, and the Baltic areas. They have strategic access to both the Arctic and the Baltic Sea, as I just mentioned, two areas of increasing geopolitical interest, especially with Russia's current activities and on the march, and climate change opening new Arctic routes. Now, as I've already mentioned, Greenland is a semi-autonomous territory of Denmark with its own government since 2009, and both Greenlandic and Danish leaders have firmly rejected the notion of selling the island. Legal principles of self-determination further complicate any potential acquisition. While the idea highlights Greenland's geopolitical significance, the feasibility of such a transaction is highly questionable. and the ethical and political ramifications suggest that pursuing annexation would be impractical and contentious. But can you really put anything past Donald Trump? Probably not. There you have it, 25, or let's say 26, fascinating things to know about Greenland. If you learned something new, give this video a like, hit subscribe, and let us know in the comments which country we should cover next. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.